The Jacksonville Jaguars are doing everything in their power to get rid of their 2020 season. Now, of course, they still have a few players. They have DJ Chark, they have Josh Allen, and like I said, they have Josh Lambo, their kicker. Great kicker, by the way. Now, of course, they are tanking for Trevor. Now, like I've just said just previously, you don't know who's going to be the first overall pick in the 2021 season, and the 2021 draft, I mean, but you can assume that it's going to be a quarterback and that there's going to be someone, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. I don't know who it's going to be. This last year, we thought it was going to be Tua. No, it was Joe Burrow. Well, 1 year ago today, we thought it was going to be Tua. And then, of course, Tua got injured and Joe Burrow had one of the best seasons in college history. But anyways, we're going to be talking about the Leonard Fournette drop by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Leonard Fournette is not a bad running back, but he's not one of the best running backs in the league, which is why I don't know if he's even going to be starting with the Buccaneers. Of course, the Buccaneers have picked him up and they'll probably start him. I don't know who else they have, but they will probably start Leonard Fournette for their starting running back. I was saying at the beginning of this offseason even, I was saying the Jacksonville Jaguars should trade Leonard Fournette to the Buccaneers. Now, they said they can't get anything for him. The Jacksonville Jaguars have already said they can't get anything for Leonard Fournette, which not much of a surprise. I mean, he is only 25 years old, but he does have some red flags. So he hasn't played an entire season in the NFL either. This last season, he played 15 games, though. We're going to go over how he looked in his 2019 season, which was great. They fed him the ball. They had no weapons on offense. Well, DJ Chark is a great wide receiver. He's a great wide receiver, but you don't want Gardner Minshew to be under center. I'm sorry. I know Gardner Minshew is loved by the fans and around the league, but he's just not a good quarterback. He's not. I haven't seen anything impressive from Gardner Minshew yet. Maybe this 2020 season will look differently. I don't think so. I think that they're going to be having a new quarterback, and he's a great backup piece. I've been saying this. Gardner Minshew's a great backup piece. I have not been impressed at all by him, and I don't think he's going to be starting for another 2 seasons. This season he will. Jags have made a lot of moves, though. Of course, they brought in Nick Foles a few years ago and traded him to the Bears. Got a lot for Nick Foles. I did not expect them to get that much from Nick Foles. Maybe the Bears are just not very smart at all. I didn't expect that. And then Yannick Ngakoue they traded and didn't get anything from them with my Minnesota Vikings and didn't get really anything from him. Jalen Ramsey they traded and got enough from him. So they're making so many moves, getting rid of all their players. And now they just have 3 good players. So them getting rid of Leonard Fournette, how is the Buccaneers going to look? So let's look at how he did his 2019 season. Recording 1,152 yards. Good season. If you get over 1,000 yards in a season, that's great. Most of the time, you're just getting a lot of targets is what it is, or a lot of carries in this case. And averaging 4.3 yards a carry, that's great. 4.3 yards is what you want. If you can give a running back the ball 3 times and expect them to get a first down, great. 3 touchdowns, only 3? He only had 3 touchdowns, 522 receiving yards. That's what you want now. That's more important than it's ever been, is receiving yards in a running back. So 522 receiving yards is great. That's more important than it's ever been in the history of the NFL. You want that running back to also be a slot corner or move some trick plays with them. Yards after the catch, yards after the carry, everything. Or yards after contact. 6.9 yards of reception, yeah, whatever. And only missed 1 game. Now, prior to this 2019 season, he has been injured the last 2 seasons, have not played. I think he was out for half of the 2018 season and missed 3 games in 2017. So yeah, he's still young. He's only been in the league for a few years. He's as young as Dalvin Cook is. They came in within the same year. And Leonard Fournette went, I think, in the top 10 of that draft. Dalvin Cook went in the later half of the 2nd round. So Vikings got really, really lucky in that. Really lucky. Dalvin Cook's better than Leonard Fournette. And Leonard Fournette went in the top 10. Anyways, so that just leaves them with a few pieces. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, though, have gained a lot. That is a scary offense. Now, of course, they already had great pieces, which is why Jameis Winston on record looked great last season. Don't look at his amount of interceptions he threw. He's a terrible passer. If you watched a single Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, you would know that Jameis Winston is not a good passer. But he had so many weapons to use, which is why he had a great season. Mike Evans, I think Mike Evans is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the league. I know he made a Pro Bowl last year. I know he gets a lot more attention than he used to because he gets a lot more targets. But also, Mike Evans is really good, and he should be their starting their starting wide receiver. And then, of course, Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin played amazing last year. O.J. Howard. And then after that, they already had those pieces on their offense. Offensive line was not looking that good last year, which is why you have to cut Jameis Winston some slack. I mean, he wasn't working with a great offensive lineman. They did draft Tristan Wirfs in the 1st round, which he will be starting out of college. Tristan Wirfs was great. And I think Iowa, he played for. Yeah, Tristan Wirfs was great. And he's going to be starting out of college for sure because the offensive line is garbage. And then, of course, highlighted by their biggest moves, taking Tom Brady and Gronkowski. I think they traded for Gronk, but they gave up like a fifth or something. And then Leonard Fournette. So they gave up nothing to get 3-star players. Tom Brady, Gronkowski, and Leonard Fournette are 3-star players to add to that offense. They have so many playmakers, front and back, 2 great tight ends. You're going to see a lot of 2 tight end sets, 2 great wide receivers, and 2 great running backs. That's amazing. And then Tom Brady under center. So that looks really good. Offensive line still could use some help, but of course, that offense is looking great, which is why they can really compete in the NFC. Now, of course, the NFC has a lot of pieces, a lot of teams that are really going to compete for that Super Bowl. It's going to be hard for the Buccaneers, especially coming out of the NFC South alone. I mean, you're in a division with the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints have looked great for 5 years in a row now. New Orleans Saints are undoubtedly going to look good again this year. And then, of course, you have the Falcons. Falcons are a team who, of course, everyone will say is bad. Falcons have a lot of pieces. Every year, the Falcons can be good. It's just some years they are good, some years they aren't. So, and then, of course, the Panthers. Now, Panthers, you don't know how they're going to look. Their offense looks great. Teddy Bridgewater is a very accurate passer. They have amazing players, receiving core. And then, of course, Christian McCaffrey is one of the best running backs in the league, probably second best after Saquon. So their offense looks really good. The Panthers, with Ron Rivera coming in there and now creating that, I think that their offense is going to look great. Panthers are not going to compete in the NFC South. They're probably going to be last anyways because their defense looks really bad. They lost Luke Kuechly and no other players on their defense, really. They did draft a player in the first round, but he's a defensive tackle, cannot make that much of a difference, considering they have a terrible secondary. So Panthers are not going to be any threat, but they're coming out of the NFC South alone is going to be tough for the Buccaneers, which is why they're probably not going to have home field advantage in the playoffs. They will probably make the playoffs considering how great of a team they have. Their coaching staff could use help. Their offensive linemen could use help. Outside of that, they have a great team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and will probably be competing in the NFC considering there's so many teams in the NFC as well. It's going to be tough for the Buccaneers to come out of that, but them bringing in Leonard Fournette was a great move. He came on a 1-year deal, I think $13 million or something like that, which, do you pay a backup running back that much? I think he's going to be starting. He's definitely going to get played in all the games that he's healthy, though. Even though their running back core was already pretty good, and there are so many playmakers in offense. Anyways, let me know what y'all think about this move by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the move by the Jacksonville Jaguars in this drop and pick up, basically.